Tohtemtik. Pakyo katamskat na o patpechigit simantu ihunin. Sisigon iwi no kisimuna kaya ko istamagit sikason. Gagis mo to tamo ngoy me sisigon. Ito istamot sige mawi gagis wata kakyo gigo. Tisbat sige sigano. Kakih tiyo ego tah ngagis mo to tin. Aywa ka spitsig kananto tihto. Namagigo eggs kay tamo kason. Namoen man to game. Itapo gay tama. Untuk tim no ako magan. Kake pepe taman. Mas naik ka na. Asut ikaw na. Tantik to tayo na ano. Namoy taog si magaisino. Moy taog sa magaisin. Tanspi. Kasi giwe to taba. Intoy sinyo mam to na itika. Bitsit. Kimuni aoy pingano. Bitsit. Kimuni aoy mam to na itikan. Kiano ewan siniya. Tan siga gispay kota neo mahpamato. Tan siga gistunamo gahtagi senipanak nutugo ogumaski. Ego chegip sa henano namoya. Ipatay ka na. Kiwansin na, no? Igo gawaps ko iti piwani wansim ko ya. Ipintapakti ko ya. Igo no ako magantik. Puti na away. Euk sige piswih tamot ni Moso. Mosom na ang kaskikan. Wiwan kaskaso. Kitso kamao. Wiwan kaskaso kitik kamagas. The spirit of the treaty. We want giskiso. Nanagatoge nos. Nanagatoit. Michit mo ikawan tapuge tamego. Muniaw ini son kikaya. Stay sihtitin. Stay intapahti mo. Tago taman gito. Maga higagis mo tutog. Sige mga ste mau go pega gi upikita tski gawino kay tahumay. Busca pio sito tagah kyogi. Eksume giste tik mamois. Gadpamato. All my relations, I greet you all in the name of Creator as we know Him. My name is Sisiko Niwino. Not Wallace Fox. Sisigo Niwino. The day before treaty, there was no Christian names. I humbly ask old people that are here to forgive me, to have pity on me that are older than me, for the things I talk about. But these things were shared to me by one of our principal elder back home and many wonderful teachers about the spirit of the treaty. Yesterday, today, every treaty gathering, I hear of the concerns of our people. I hear our people in our community where I come from. What are you doing to protect our rights of our people? I hear constitutions. I hear all these monial terminologies. What about our way? What about the spirit of the treaty? What about that? We look at the intents, those things that were promised. This does not start from Treaty 1 to 11. It starts all the way down east at the point of contact. It Turo Wampum, and I know very little of it. What I do know is that we had our systems, and they brought theirs. And they were supposed to have mutual respect, and no one was supposed to interfere with the other one. And it come to the Treaty of Niagara, 1764. This is where over 2,000 leaders gathered again. But they used the ceremony. I was in a fast last week. The old people that were there at treaty came with bowls. We are gonna. Hey, no sim. Peti go ya. Tan som tegi sweetita. Ewan kiskis ito toya. Ewan kiskis yig istana. The importance of the feast. They came. Lord said, how can we help you if you forget the teachings of the old ways? We are hungry too. And they showed how this is supposed to be. I saw this over 20 years ago. This is something, when you look at here, I see some of the chiefs that are here. I know them, but how many of you know them? So I sit here, igiganoy tsagati, wapahan, itaw kamao, ihayag, itagwam. Pag snod si ta, tuti, sa matsikit si kano. Ohe, an sa itagihtig. I was told to make this. I was told to bring it here. It will not go in the power. It does not belong in the power. This is for the treaty ancestors. The Red Indian, as it was called, as we are called in the Royal Proclamation, the Red Indian. No one shall enter that land. My subjects will not enter that land that belongs to the Red Indian unless you enter into a treaty and provide fair, equitable compensation. The Red Indian. Over time, the Munya mind set in our bodies and our mind. So we don't look at ourselves as the red men. So we call ourselves First Nations people. This is how it is written. This is how it is stated back in the Treaty of Niagara. These are the ceremonies that were attached before we came here. We've done it the European system way with agendas. For the young people, what you saw this morning is a ceremony, only a fraction of what it was like before the European came. But we have structures, we have to go do this, we have to have a meeting, we have to do this. And we talk, and we talk, and we talk. And nothing ever really comes out of this. Kaya, ibuhin, Miss Kanao, ikaw ino aski kita humay. Ikutab matsulo pagkita tuma tagong nana. Ikmat simaga. Uhe, piyok sabi tagitigi. Pamatu, the 11 treaties that are here. Utama mo kaya before the number of treaties. Kaya Uteo sa pasigo magaski, sige magay ito ito nutugo, taksi, ipteo tuhtiya. Ipmuhti magahago ta sagih tol, wagoh tol. The kinship the relationship to the land and us as people. Uti kohtao ino ita kohti maka Creator's world. Kao uti peta 7 generations itagaya. Uti ko ego ne pinta kopti. Yesu nipi anagatobi skuteo isku mete kakiok matsi magana takopti kakioga misatim kagipiwa goktamoy goya kakpitsigi the horse yata yokano sigame iguni yuksay takihtig mitahtat ti pamatuna imam skutsigantigi 10 treaty promises New sab migo nag no segi hill na big hill the male eagle the woman eagle feather that balance in the Creeway the big lodge 14 poles everything is 14 Utamina, Neo Sab, Yugunik Migunak, 14 feathers. From up there, Neo Sapohe, Asotamagyo, there's 14 of those treaties, promises. We only talk about 10. Neo Sab. Utagagisip mo tiap matsul when we walk this earth from this land. Utagatagok tiap aksipasti. Kawe go so gamia. We walk back on this journey and we leave this earth. Back down here to the earth where we come from. Nisumis kanawe tago. The 2 rows of governance. The 2 rows of the systems of our people, not to intertwine. The white man, the European, brought the devaluation of the woman's role to us, and I'm guilty of that. I am by no means perfect, no better than anyone in this room. So gistano ego te spoke tahan. I asked the elder if it was okay. She said, you speak. We any gipikske. Ego piano gana piuya ipatama. That's what we neglect to do. I've traveled to many ceremonies. I don't see that woman sitting there praying. And that old system before treaty, the woman was up here. That's the old system. And now where's the woman? Back here. Some of the things before the treaty, that ceremony and a beautiful gift of language that Puhtawino gave to us. There is a spirit in that language. Ya chaho kampigas ko nigo bitit ay sino moinstoktam. Moy wapahtam. There is a spirit. The old people are the ones that shared this, not me. How many kids don't speak the language? Yet we talk about treaty, we talk about those titles. I don't like my title. I didn't want this title. Probably very soon I will not take this title back home. And there will be a reason why. This is where I want to be for the generations that are yet unborn. Notes ahcha, tipama tuacha, ini sanano. We're very intelligent, we're very smart. Mago and gisgisna. This is what we forget. Oma. This is something, the message I was supposed to bring today. The treaty work will continue to happen. But for how long? These things have been passed on for me to share, to keep for you. But we live in a world today where there's a whole bunch of lateral violence. Yesterday I heard some elders, what are you as leaders doing of this funding, this Indian Act, all these things? All of the people that are here, we were forced into the system. When they came to Fort Pitt in September, nobody told them, oh, by the way, there's an Indian Act legislation in Ottawa that's going to violate and destroy everything the Queen has promised to you. Nobody said that to them. But the old people knew where we are today. They saw that. They made that X mark. There was a certain reason in the spirit why that is. The people that sit in the big lodge will know what that is. I shared that with my tiho today. Why they used them. Not because they didn't know their name. There was a reason, a spiritual connection. This is what I had to use to learn this. Tontos kamana chimon bigisto. This is what I had to learn, the protocol, to go and give. What does this mean? The day before treaty was such an awesome time when our people had everything, when they had no unemployment, no homelessness. They lived a way of life. Obviously, we can't live that way today. But what they want us to do is to provide that offering to acknowledge the ceremony from there. Kawichi wako. Itago momostoaga. The spirit helpers. Sisi one nia tigoya. We install him. Kakyo momostoaga. Niyaman story. Kispinesam sagamegi pimchim na mahego negagi simuna. Na moyo magskais na gotsiga. Magagim skoy tamgawap skoy tan sige sipigo na. Kage chiche na to nigi ko maawasa. Ugagi simon. Kigas kihtawego. Utapo kihtamuno. Their belief, their way of life. They knew the family was so important, so they broke that. They entered into this contract with the churches to do that. They succeeded, many of us. But there are a handful of people that still practice that way, that know of that old way. To the people that are here, if all of us were to go back to get nihiniti wihuna, spiritual names, your children, katawasin so, ufsimo, kaya Diyos kan wihuna, kaya spiritual names. If all of us sitting here in this titleless chief, if every single one of 633 believed and practiced, if the million Indians that are here believe this way, can you imagine how it would be like? Could you imagine? But many of us do not. And I respect all of you people. I share with you only what I was taught. The fork in the road is the choice that God, the Creator of Taoino, however you call Him, you make that choice to continue on this journey or to learn what it was like before. I'm not here to preach. I am not here to say, leave that way, follow this way. He gave us a mind. He gave us a heart. Choose for yourself. Do we continue the way we are, or do we find out who we really are? Not this body, not this Wallace Fox kind of thing. Do we find out? It's not far what those old people have said. They told me to say this. It's not far. Maybe that's why they gave me this white hair at a young age. To keep this knowledge. I don't know everything. But I believe they're here listening to ancestors, watching and observing. When are they going to wake up? The spirit of this treaty the day before, that's why I was told to make this, to bring that spirit from each and every one of us in here, to awaken that spirit. When the Kokom wakes up, then the spirit of the treaty will come. When you do this, there's one more thing I need to do next couple of days to finish this part. And that's the grandmother spirit. It's waiting to be asked to be called upon. These things I say to you may not sink in today, but I ask the Spirit to touch each and every one of you that is listening to this, hearing this, not listening, hearing this. That one day that you will awaken with that spirit and the desire. We can all talk about all these things, these problems. We can all criticize. But who has the solution? Who has the answer? As chief, I can say no to government. But then my people will get mad. Some of them will get upset. They will not be pleased, no matter what you do. Young people. So find out who we are. That's how our people practice their way. Still getting up, the sun. All of these are still here. But for me, I share this with you in all due respect and humility. Not to discourage, not to insult, not to hurt anyone. That is not my intention. I come here with that message Igupugo, Ixko. Sisi when you know wame we timid miskano. I'm going to change my name from Wallace to Sisi but Yuxigis and Stoi Taxon Gisiguna and Giftigo. The Moyo Mamonia Wiho. You'll recognize me up there, the ancestors and the spirit. Sisi Kuniwi. The choice is ours. One of the things I observed in almost 30 years in listening to this, ironic, I make a motion, I second that motion. Here's a resolution. I don't like that word. Maybe we should change that word. One time, not out of disrespect, but I wanted to see. I timed that one resolution at Chief's meeting, an hour and 15 minutes on one little word. The whole day almost went by. See that Moniao thinking? We have to be right. This doesn't work. That education, that Moniao. I'm not one of you guys, I'm not educated. I just use common sense a lot of times. And then what happens to those resolutions? They sit up here, they gather dust. There's all kinds of things happening amongst us. You know, the young people, that's the treaty walkers that are here. We still they want to help. The I Don't Know More movement. The people doing the blockades, the pipeline. All these things are good. And I thank them for all that. But this is what started before treaty. And we seem to be putting this over here. And then we use this mind and not this heart. So, Chair Noel, thank you for giving me this tobacco. Again, I don't mean no disrespect. I don't mean to hurt anyone, insult anyone. Forgive me if I have. I don't mean to offend. This is a message I was asked to bring to this gathering. The choice is ours. We need to make that for us in order to survive in the future. Pag sinanas ko man, sa man tugat pechigit ka, yugusoyong gunono kay kista. We are kakyugi kay ganawapato, namoy niya nawapato. He sees all things. He knows what's in your heart. He knows what's in your mind. I don't. So with that, thank you very much. Hi, hi.
Thank you.